Damn, it's good to be back. The wait is over. The arena roars once more, and the legends return to the field.
Oh my god, there's no way.
So huge!
The best are already sharpening their skills, and the rivalries are burning hotter than ever.
Oh my goodness, what was
Wow. Every play, every push, a chance to carve your name in history. Somebody stop this man!
Oh, that's awesome!
And she drops onto the Kiri. It's a one clip to finish the kill. And that's two from Kowsers.
This is where stories are written, where every legend leaves their mark.
And the body block. Able to get two.
Oh, that's a body grab. What a grab!
And as Bruce is out, he gets three.
With history on the line, do you have what it takes to emerge victorious? Welcome to United Rogue Overwatch Season 9. Fuck, was I recording? Hello, everybody, and welcome. It is our third and final draft for United Rogue Overwatch Season 9. We are here in the Emerald Draft. I'm your community manager, Ajax, aka Soupcan, and I'm joined by the awesome Saucepan. I am super excited.
So am I. Emerald's always been exciting. You know, you and I have both managed multiple teams down here in Emerald. So we both have the experience to commentate on this a little bit. The thing is, my first season not playing or running a team in Emerald as well.
The funny part is, both of us, like you said, we have experience with GMing in Emerald. Both of us in our seasons had a team that made it to finals and then ended up losing. What a cursed world we live in.
Yeah,
Shout
unfortunately
out Nashville,
so.
Miami.
Unfortunately so. But it's how it is.
Well, the nice thing is, even though you and I might not be in the conversation for GMs for Emerald, we do have some awesome people. We're going to have Banger with Chicago coming in. Banger's been around for a little bit now. Actually, his first team was Chicago, so super excited. Dan and Maui Ancients, the returning champions, get to come back. We've got Booger and Montreal. Montreal hasn't been in for a season or two, so it's nice to have them back. We get two new teams. New England Valhalla with Doge, who will have to, spoiler alert, pick themselves up first round. The Phoenix Thunder.
Well, in the draft early.
Listen, I've got the leaks. I got to start telling
The
people
leak info.
Another first rounder is going to be Dill with the Phoenix Thunder, another new team. Dill will probably have to draft himself first round. And then, of course, we've got Moto and the Washington Rebellion, a team that have been around for a while. And so, honestly, a lot of these players have been around for a while. You've got Booger, Dill, Doge, Moto. Banger's been around for a couple seasons now. This is Dan's second season hanging out with us, but last season he won it all. So let's see if he can get that back-to-back. I'm so interested in how this is going to go, especially because the draft order, thanks to the immaculate wheel, we have the first pick will go to War, then New England, then Chicago, Maui, then Montreal, and Phoenix will round it out. And I think a lot of people for some of these teams have been suspecting some of these first round picks to go a certain way. But it's going to be interesting nonetheless to see how the other teams pick theirs.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be quite interesting, especially with because we have some returning GMs and some newer GMs in here. Oh, actually, I believe there's only one new GM overall. Most of them are either returning from prior seasons, or even just this last season. I think Banger, I believe, is the only new GM, and he did just draft in Sapphire, but even Dill has another returning GM. We're not gonna talk about that though. We're not gonna talk about that team.
I mean, we could talk about it. We could be kind of funny right now and talk about it. But
we could.
You're right. There are a lot of returning GMs. Banger is the only one who's new to the GM position. Flutter's been around UR for a couple seasons now.
Oh,
So it's
yeah,
nice
been
to
around
just
for a
see
good
a lot of
while.
those familiar faces.
Yeah, very much so. So I'm excited to see where some of these goes. I mean, obviously, I think you and I both have some insider information on a couple of these picks, especially New England possibly, and I think maybe a little bit of Phoenix in there. But
there's a couple that when you look at the sheet, you know that certain GMs are gonna swing that way towards players, right? There's some old
Yeah.
favorites. So I think there's gonna be some names on there that you'd expect to get picked up by a couple of certain teams.
yeah,
But I'm still excited nonetheless.
yeah, and especially with some of these names, there's some people on this list that were playing up in Sapphire last season, especially due to the way the ranks split there. That were like, despite being towards that mid to even lower end of the rank split, there were like holding their own like exceptionally well, and now they're pushed all the way down here just because of how the ranked like the division has all kind of happened. So like some of those players are gonna be like incredibly high value picks going into this season because they're used to playing up in a higher average rank pool than what you typically see in Emerald.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a weird scene for once, right? There's going to be a lot of players that have either been in Emerald for a while now, or there's going to be some new picks coming in where, like you said, I don't think you would really, see that happening prior. So now that they get the chance to kind of hang out with some of these other players, it's going to be interesting to see how these teams get formed at the end of the day. But I'm very curious where the GMs will go in terms of where their priorities are, right? There are still a lot of players in here, both new and old. So where do you look for? What are you looking for to snag as your first round pick?
I think it's the same thing as Sapphire. There's a tank drought, especially here more than ever. I'm seeing definitely. I think there's about like 8 or maybe even 9 preferred tank players, but especially if you want to try to pull those the highest ranked players first, it's a lot of support and DPS up top. Very few tank players towards that top. So I think both being higher rank in Emerald and being a tank player is going to be that's going to be that high value pick that these GMs are going to want to go for first here.
Well, we are going to see Washington's first pick. It is Moto. He's got the first pick of Emerald. I believe it is in. Let's see where he is going. And we are going to have, no surprise, Guna coming
None
over
at all. No
to
surprise here.
Washington.
Great,
Guna had been
great
a
pick
part
up
of Washington a couple of times. Specifically, the one that I can think of was along with, the Avengers, right? Where she was able to
the War
help
Avengers.
The team.
Yep.
She was able to help the team throughout the season, and was part of that staying roster that got to help continue to get that chip. But last season, she did amazing on Chicago in that support line. I don't think that there's enough that can be said about how well she can do with a team environment around her, and I think she's going to have an awesome team.
Oh, 100%. Our resident Lifeweaver goat.
There's always one.
Oh, always gotta be one. But
now that
next
does
pick
mean it's
is
New
in here.
England on the clock, and I think we know where it's gonna be.
We expected this one. Yep.
Doge has to pick himself, and I'll be honest, I didn't think he put Ashe for his favorite character. He's been playing a lot of Ashe recently. That season 5 Emerald Royal Star is there, but it was actually for the support Royal Star. But no, I mean, he's been playing a lot of DPS recently. It's kind of started from when I was GMing him with Miami, and his Ashe has been getting really good. So he's got the flexibility to play any role.
Yeah.
Ooh, we are
next
steaming
pick
through
is
some of these
Oregon.
picks.
We are moving through here.
We're gonna have Banger picking a Chicago, not Cranium. All right, this is a new player, I believe.
New play. Yeah, new. This is their first season. Seen that hard flex, but preferred roll damage. But that highest rank is on the tank roll. So maybe take even with that preferred, maybe they're taking into account their flexible players, seeing where they can stick them around. But
The nice part about that
flex is good
Banger.
pickup early.
Banger's also flexible, and he will have to pick himself
That's
up
true.
at some point. So if Banger doesn't feel
That's
like
true.
playing tank, he can put himself on DPS, have our Cranium feller here go up. So I
Yeah,
think that's a very solid pick for
very
Banger.
true.
Maui was on the clock, but no longer, as their pick is in.
Is it?
And I have to see Aurelia, another tank coming in. We talked about it at the
Tank
beginning.
player,
We knew
yeah.
tanks are going to be hot
This,
so
that
far.
tank is gonna, very high value. I do remember seeing this person on the board, I believe, last season. I don't completely remember if they were there for draft or they were in mid-season sign-up, but I do remember seeing them on the FA sheet at the very least.
Well,
So,
glad to see that they stuck
it's a
around.
name I'm
'Cause
familiar
their
with.
first round
Yeah.
pick.
The FA to first round pick pipeline.
Now this is a pick I'm excited for because it is
I
Montreal.
have to agree.
I'm
Montreal.
excited to see how Montreal comes up. Let's see where Booger's going. He's taking the goat. Storm. Shout out Storm. Doom
We
goat
love Storm.
indeed. Both of us, funny enough, both of us have had Storm on our roster as
Storm on our
primarily
Emerald
tank.
rosters on
Right,
tank,
where they
but
were
also
lost.
the both of us are responsible for the Storm OG Buns duo.
Oh my
You
God,
started
yeah.
it and I continued it. I made it 3 seasons.
And then Trash Can and LVT
It's
had the
just
season in,
in season,
between.
yes, that was the season 7 run.
Unfortunately, Buns is playing in Sapphire, but Storm is going to have a good time on Montreal. And now for the last pick of round 1, it's the one and only Phoenix Thunder. I wonder who Dill's
Who
going to
it's gonna
pick.
be?
My goat. My absolute goat. Funny enough, this graphic is unfortunately wrong. He does have a tank placement. I believe it's like flat 2 or something. But our Season 7 Emerald MVP, our Season 5 and 7 Roll Star. Funny enough, Season 5 Roll Star with Doge on the support line in the generational pit.
The pit super team. The pit super team.
The unfortunate
I was
sacrifice
the
for
blood
Sauce.
sacrifice. I was the blood sacrifice to make it happen.
I mean, like, you know, I still always appreciate it because I got to play with 4 of my best friends, and then I got to meet Dill, who, Jesus Christ,
It worked
is
out.
a crazy guy.
It worked out. I was the blood sacrifice into the round 1 pickup for Pitt in season 6, and the rest is history. The rest is history.
We love to see it, but that does mean that's the end of round 1. We have a little bit of break between round 2, so we get to talk about these picks. You know, War took Guna, New England took Doge, Chicago took Cranium, Maui took Aurelia. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Montreal took Storm, and Phoenix, of course, took Dill. Out of those, I think there was like 3 that we were, you know, expecting, right? So
Yeah.
out of the other 3,
Yeah, pretty much so.
Which one stands out the most to you?
I mean, I really want to say Chicago here. I mean, albeit you see that tank rank, you see the flex as just overall. It stands out like even for a new player. But I think it is just that is it's shooting right for that new player, having minimal knowledge. I guess you only have whatever you saw in tryouts, assuming they were there. Obviously, I was not, because I'm not running an Emerald team. I was not really a part of any of the Emerald tryouts. I didn't get to see a lot of these players play. At least the new player was. So that's one I think that stands out to me. But I mean, even the ones we expected, I think still stick out. Like, you see some great picks. You see Guna, Storm, and then obviously the GMs picking themselves up round 1. Like I think there's also holds some weight, especially in Doge, knowing he is a flexible player himself. So
Well, that's the funny
it'll
thing.
be
If you
interesting to see
look,
this roster.
Is this? I gotta fact check myself, but I think this is the only like round 1 where every single pick signed up for all 3 roles. So when you talk about flexibility, that is not only for
Every team
when
has
we talk
it,
about
yeah.
Doge or we talk about Dill or some of these other players. It's every team has the potential to move those players wherever they want, which is very nice to have.
Oh, 100%, especially in Emerald. I think, like, obviously flexibility, it's always good across the board, no matter what league you're playing in, no matter what rank you're playing in. But I think there's just something about it in Emerald is like effectively being able to run a wild card comp, being able to, between maps completely change up who's on what role, who's playing what, like being the ability to do that can throw teams that might expect, they maybe got used to one thing. Say that losing map 1, they're like, okay, well, they're gonna probably run
Let's
this
change
map
it up.
2 because it worked, and you completely do something different, and it can steamroll. So, but
I like to
I
see
think our
it,
first
but I
pick here.
believe it is round 2. Dill is back up because it is a snake draft reversed, or the order is now reversed. So Dill gets the first pick, and we have my main. I did see this name a couple times in the tryouts. Dill hosted, I think, 3 Emerald tryouts.
Yeah,
So
he
Dill's got
hosted a
deep
lot.
bag.
Very much
But-
so.
I'm liking the fact that I'm seeing still the flexibility, right? Like if Dill does not want to play tank, my main can just hop in.
Yeah,
They
Tank
have that
DPS play
option.
right there.
Right. Like you have that flexibility between it. So far, Phoenix looking pretty good.
Very good pool going here.
I'm excited to see now who gets paired with Storm. I had a little bit of a stroke.
Yeah, think about it a little bit there, but
I really did.
see our when our,
But
I
we
think our
will
next pick
get
from
to
Montreal
see-
here is in.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Let's see. Crystal. They were
we're on what team were? I want to say it was
LVT.
C. It was LVT
Were they
or
Seattle?
Seattle. It was one of the two. It was
They're one of the
two.
like yellow teams.
I can't completely remember, but I do remember the name. I remember them seeing around in Emerald, making waves. Very, very solid DPS player. Very consistent Emerald DPS player.
They were one of the Emerald players for DPS that you had to be worried about because if you gave them enough
Yeah.
space, then they were just going to start running wild. So I like this pickup.
Yeah. They could play
it
Tracer.
continues-
They could play Tracer consistently, and that's enough in Emerald.
That is true. Sometimes all you need is really just one character to lock in and be able to have such a dominant force. But we're going to go back over to Maui. It's Maui's second round pick, and I believe the pick is in. Let's see who is up. We're going to get Apollo, another DPS player.
I see Venture. I'm excited.
Oh,
We
shout out
love
to
a
this
Venture
player.
player. We love a Venture player.
Oh.
But so even still seeing some of that flexibility, the DPS stuff, pool there.
I like too looking at this. They listed Ash, Cassidy, and Venture, so that really does set you up. If you have a solid hit scan player that has that flexibility to kind of move around, I think that's super important. So far,
Yeah, very
Maui,
much so.
already looking pretty stacked up.
Got a good lineup going. It's being able to flip between them, even if it is only between a couple heroes, is still pretty useful. I said that with zero bias whatsoever.
Well, it does mean that Chicago's pick is up. They have Cranium. Who's going to join them? We're going to get to see. So far, I don't think Banger has to pick themselves just yet. So I wonder, all right,
Yeah.
this is another new player preferring the tank role. So again, this is just another option.
For that tank.
have a
And another
Easy
just
switch.
hard flex player. Just two full flex players here is.
And
kinda
when
nutty.
Banger picks himself up, he's very flexible too. So already Chicago
Yeah.
having that deep roster is great. I am
Building a
loving
team of
this
flex players.
so much. But now we get to see. This does mean Doge is up with New England. The clock is ticking. They've picked themselves up, and I think we have two people in mind that New England has been eyeing down for a while.
Yeah. Two
I'm
people
pretty
in
sure it's
mind,
gonna be
and
one.
it's got to be one of them. I think you just rip it back to back here. I think there's no fault in it. At least if I was in this position of having these near back-to-back picks, that's what I'd be doing. So, I'm excited to see what goes on here.
Okay, we will see something in a second. I might be getting word that there was a bit of a fumble. We will address that in a sec. But I believe this is still New England's pick. The little fumble might get addressed in the 2
Accidents
minutes between
happen.
round. Banger's hanging out apparently, but you know what? I don't know. I mean, New England's up. We were talking about it. I think we can just say it. I think this might be Zeke. Like, I think that
yeah, I would think so too. Yeah,
two of them have a good history.
That's
They
what I'm
really
thinking.
just made it to finals
100%.
last season.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love Zeke too? Like, we both know him pretty
Oh my
well.
God.
He's an awesome guy and he's a great player.
One of our goats.
We love him. And so now we get to see, I believe New England's pick is in. So we will get to see. There he is.
There he is, the man
Zeke.
himself. We love him.
Oh, look at that boy. Able to do God's work. Him and Luna last season on San Diego.
Oh my God.
They were unstoppable, it felt like, along with the rest of the team around them. So it does
Oh my God.
really feel awesome being able to see Zeke getting picked up here to
It-
join
it's-
Doge.
Yeah, it's one of those things too with that San Diego roster is you'd think with having as dominant of a player as Luna was, that just insanely oppressive tracer, you'd think there would be both like less of a need for your other DPS to like truly like to perform, especially when your tracer is going this unchecked. But also just the window for them to show off, yet it was there, is if Luna was not able to secure that pick on the as tracer, or the one blue moon chance they got like double checked as by a Cassidy, Zeke was there to clean up as that Freya, and it was just the dunk, the follow up. I can't think of the word, but you get what I'm saying. You get the point.
Homie is having a stroke, but that's okay because this does
the
mean
words.
it is Moto's pick. I believe the pick is up. Let's get to go see where he's going. Gare Bear. That is awesome. They did so well. Another LVT player on DPS that did
Great player
really
last
well.
season.
Oh, yes.
Putting up those junk numbers, giving Buns a junk rival.
We get to always love a Junkrat, but no, I mean, if you go to it, the tires were incredible last season.
Oh God, beautiful, beautiful tires.
I think one of those tires literally made it into the intro. Funny enough,
I believe
mean,
it is in the intro too. Yeah, there's just some beautiful plays coming out there, and I think though
That
with
should be
Buns
it.
moving up to Sapphire, I think we have a Junkrat player now in every league, because I believe there's one up in Ruby.
There's Blue Jay, the resident
That's
junk
true.
king.
That is true.
Yeah.
The
Dude,
flying
playing
rat.
Blue Jay was crazy. But that's our round 2 picks. We got a little bit of time between these rounds.
Buffer
to
window
look
here.
These picks over. And so now, these are some names. Okay, Zeke, I think we knew. Everybody else for me was a surprise, right? So looking at these, and so far, I'm personally love the Doge Zeke combo. I really enjoy looking at the potential of Storm, and the Discord name is Mew Jr., but Crystal. I like those two a lot. Chicago has a lot of flexibility. I mean, so far these rosters
Yeah.
are really starting to stack up.
Oh, 100%, especially with just looking at the players we know from previous seasons, even just last season alone. You're seeing some power duos start. I mean, I think the obvious one, as you said, is New England, Zeke and Doge. It's running it back just like last season. There's already that chemistry from that finals team. So it's definitely gonna be something that's tough to beat. And that was a finals team up a bracket. This was competing against these high. I suppose it's still similar diamond. The mid diamond to the the plat range. So like so far, so it's I guess it's not that much different, but you know, so some of those players from that SDA roster are up in Ruby now. So you're seeing just a complete shift of things here, and so I think that's going to create some real interesting dynamics. I mean, maybe it's the bias of knowing both of them too, but obviously, as you said, Storm and Mew Jr. as well. Storm is
I think those two
well
are
known
really
around
gonna
here.
be good. Shout out Storm.
Very
Storm.
much so.
Awesome.
Shout out
guy.
Storm. Shout out
I mean,
Storm.
just like
Shout out
he's-
the game day videos every day, every game day.
Oh, dude! Every game day he pulls up
Every
another
game
random
day.
clip. And I think that's something that we don't get to talk about a lot, right? Is when there's so many new players, you only have so much time with them. But when there's players that have been around for a while, like Storm, who I am going to take a second here to shout out, you get to talk a bit more about them. And when I think of Storm, I always think of what Bowser has coined, the glue guy, right? You need somebody who's going to rally the
glue
troops.
guy.
You need somebody who's going to be good in comms, be able to help reset everybody. And I think Storm does a really good job of that, being able to have that competitive fire, right? While still being able to say, all right, you know, we have next map, right? Like, if you're down, you can still bounce back. And I really appreciate that from him. Zeke, you can say the same thing about him.
Zeke's a glue guy.
Dill also. Unable
100.
to see how Crystal and how Gare Bear were last season. Obviously not in comms with them, but it's very important to have that ability to just say, hey, listen, we got to rally, we got to dig deep, we got to go, right? And I think that's awesome.
Oh, 100%. I gotta, continue with some of the Storm shout out, the Storm glaze, going back to some of these Nashville comms from last season is unfortunately, because I was not playing on that roster, I couldn't necessarily schedule it around when I'm also available. So I was not around to be able to be in the VC for many of those games, but thankfully I was there for the finals match, which I was stoked to be able to be there. One, because I could make sure the lobby was running smooth and correctly, but also I got to hear those comms. I got to hear my goons play, and it was electric. Despite the loss, despite the heartbreaking loss, it took it to map 7, and again, the power of that glue guy. Storm was a glue guy, Buns was a glue guy, Mort's a glue guy, Never was a glue guy. Those are 2 other players that are on this board here, easily blend back in there. And as I said, the bounce back is the that map 6. The going towards the end of that map, the resounding shout was down but never out. And despite losing the next map, the hype was still there, the glue is still there, and so hopefully we see that going forward this season here on that MTL roster.
Well, we'd love to see it. As I mentioned earlier, there was a little bit of a mess up. We are going to address it now. Chicago GM accidentally typed in the wrong name. A different name picked up, so they didn't grab the player they wanted.
We did a bit of a
We're about
goof.
to correct it here. Sorry, Lucky Squid. There's still, 4 rounds, so you still have a good shot. But right now, we are going to see a Therion, another new player. This is where Chicago wanted to go right now. But I am seeing here, right, the support is what's sticking out to me, the Ana, Juno, Kiri. I think those are 3 very high impact supports. Juno, I don't think gets a lot of credit in terms of where you get to see their impact. You can see the Ana nades.
It's like Lucio. It's that speed ring. It's the speed. I mean, it doesn't help with Juno being in like the weaker state of the flex supports right now. But that is just the typical flex support pool. That Ana Kiri especially.
So we
gotta
are
have
going
one of
to
them.
see Chicago pick them up, but that does mean it is going to be round 3. Washington and Moto are back up on the clock. There's a couple names. We mentioned Nevro. I don't know if Nevro is going to go to war. I know Washington had their eyes on a couple other players.
Sure.
There's 1 or 2 in particular I think he might be leaning towards having to talk to Moto between some of these days between drafts. So I think I have an inclination of where he might go. But they are currently on the clock. I'm curious. He's got a great support. He's gonna get another great support. We're gonna get to see Big Green. Oh,
I think this is a
awesome
bit of an
player.
upset pick too. I think I believe
Montreal just got robbed.
Yeah, I was
Montreal
gonna say I
gonna
believe Montreal and Booger Bear was heavily eyeing this player.
They
Oops.
usually do. A little bit of fumble. Hang on.
A little bit of a fumble, but we might
Well,
the
hang on. We're
strats
just gonna
might have
build
been
some
leaking.
suspense. We're just gonna build some
Well,
suspense. New England's pick.
Build suspense.
Gee,
Wow, who did New England pick? Who did they pick?
I
Wow,
wonder.
who saw this one coming? Who saw this one coming?
Gee, I can't put my
Run it back, run it
finger
back.
on it. But there he is. There's Nevro.
Eh.
And already New England is building what feels like the big comeback of Hit Season 5.
This is
Getting
this
a bunch
is
of
beautiful.
friends who can play the game well. Zeke and Nevro, very good friends. Obviously, Doge, has played with them before, gotten that chance. And so now you have Doge who can put themselves on tanks, since, like you said, there is a tank drought.
Yeah.
So you have a very good tank, you have a very good DPS, and you have a very, very good support. So New England
Yeah.
looking pretty scary so far.
Oh, very, very scary. I mean, we did have this conversation with Doge a little bit after the Sapphire draft, and I had mentioned, if I was an Emerald, this would have probably been my draft plan. And I was just met with a laugh because this is Doge had the exact same idea. I see the makings of an Emerald super team here. I see the making of the Emerald Avengers.
I am loving it. But it is Chicago's pick. Banger surely has it figured out this time. And I'm looking at the
Puts
board.
the right
Still doesn't
name
have
in.
to drag himself yet. So instead, going to get Sharp DPS support, another new player. I don't
Again.
know if I saw them in tryouts at all. So I don't
Yeah,
think
the name does not stick out to me. I'm usually clicking on Discord names as I'm seeing stuff go through. I like to be aware of everybody. And yeah, it's a new name for me, but that hero pool is interesting, especially in that support is the Bap Kiri Wu Yang. I love seeing a little Water Boy. I love seeing the players picking him up. I cannot crack him, but he is fun still, nonetheless.
Well, that does mean it is time for Maui's third round pick. I believe the pick is in. Let's see who will join this roster. And it is going to be Aqua, aka Diamond.
Returning to the Maui roster, I believe they were a part of. I remember they were a part of that winning, Season 8 Emerald
Yep.
champion. They
You
were
can see
a
it.
part of that winning Maui roster.
A big help
Great.
throughout the season.
Very solid support player on that team.
And now they've gotten their ranks up too, so they're getting more comfortable with the game. They're going to be able to go throughout and have a better idea of where to go, right, with the direction, because you get to see an awesome support with Aqua. You get to see Aurelie, who seems like a tank player, right? And then you have
That's what's-
Apollo, who's that DPS. I'm enjoying Maui's roster so far, but I believe it's going to be Montreal's pick. Who will be
Montreal's on the
joining
clock here.
Storm?
I'm
and
excited to see this
Crystal?
one.
Boy, the goat.
This is beautiful, and maybe it's a new duo dynasty of Storm and Mort starting here, because that's 2 seasons in a row. But great pickup, well known Lucio player in Emerald. Which is great to have. Having that dedicated main support player is always really strong to have. But very flexible too. Definitely seen him play a couple different heroes. He's flexed that pool a little bit. He might only have listed Lucio there, but he's capable of more. I will vouch.
Mort, a very awesome support player, but it is now Phoenix's turn, which will be the last pick of round 3. So who will be joining Dill and Dash? I'm very interested to see Dill. I knew a little bit about where he was going, with those tryouts. So we're going to get to see the pick coming up right now. And I believe It is Lazy Turtle, but that is Bayonetta. They were in Washington Sapphire's team last season, did very well. They ended up getting into playoffs and putting up a hell of a performance. So now
that first playoff series game of Sapphire, the
Jersey
game,
War
that was
one
cinema.
crazy.
That was cinema.
The map 66. I mean, that one alone was just
oh my god. The one that always I just can have distinct memories of replaying in my head was Colosseo. I don't know why. That's the one that's just ingrained in my memory.
This is looking good so far. I mean, you get to look, right? We got a little bit of time before picks. We have a lot of names. Every person who's been picked up in round 3 has been here for at least a season, except for Chicago's pickup. And so you get to look. I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 support players. 5 support players got picked up. And then Chicago's pickup, I believe, also leans support. So this is,
I believe
the round of supports.
Yeah, that's pretty typical. At least, I mean, you kind of saw it across the other drafts as well. You tend to get your main 3-man core, your tank, your DPS player, and your support player. Either one, like tank and DPS, I think is flexible in that round 1, and whichever you don't grab, you usually grab in that round 2. And then you round it out with your support player on round 3. Obviously, you probably want to lean that main support, grab them as soon as you can. It's far fewer than
rare.
But that also that matters a little bit less as you go down the brackets. And you're gonna see far less of people who are dedicated to that hero pool. As you go down, you're gonna see far less of people that are dedicated to Lucio Brig in down here, just them two in Emerald versus say Ruby, even then,
look at Ruby and Sapphire,
state of the game, you
not
got
that
flex.
many too. So many flex players.
Yeah, I think you have to be. I think the nature of it all too is very different than when those terms were coined back in almost a decade ago. That's your reminder. Right? Overwatch turns 10 in next May.
Oh my god, it does.
26th May 2016.
So old. Well, with that beautiful development, we get to see the beginning of round 4.
Round 4.
Terribly old. Dill is gonna get Banny, I believe is how you say their name. Another play that I spoke with Dill about, where they showed up to tryouts. Dill was, clearly seeing something. Now gets to join Bayonetta, Dill, and Dash, and so far, that team looking very comfortable, right? The Ana Valkyrie again makes their return for yet another flex support player.
Very interesting roster he's got going here, which it makes me think, based off everything he's picked up so far, either he's just gonna stick himself on DPS, like he did it in his prior GMing season, seeing how he did draft back-to-back 4 support players, or maybe this is why he was getting those tank placements done ASAP, because maybe he's planning the Dill tank season.
I believe it is the Dill tank season. He's been talking a lot about
excited.
it.
I'm excited.
We get to see it. It really is an interesting concept to have the Dill tank, but we're gonna have to talk about that a bit later because the Montreal round 4 pick is up. Let's take a look who Booger has scooped up. We're gonna get Bakukan? Question mark?
Yeah, that sounds about right. That looks about right.
Diamond tank, plat, DPS, and support. I believe they only signed up to play tank and DPS. So this is gonna be, who you're gonna be partnering with Crystal. And I see Cassie, Freya, Soj. And the two that really stick out to me are going to be that Freya Soj, because we have seen players do crazy things with that hero.
Some of those meta picks. I mean, obviously there's not seen that Tracer either, but again, Cass too, which is great to see. Is going against the I guess finally breaking the statement of there are no Cassidy players in Emerald, because it seems like there are very much now Cassidy players in Emerald, which is
We
great.
saw it a little bit last season. We get to see it some more, but we're about to see Maui's round 4 pick. Let's take a look who will be joining those turtles.
Who we got?
It's gonna be Akashi, the return.
Yeah,
Wow.
I am not familiar with the lore surrounding him.
So Akashi was
I know he's a long-term
season
player.
2.
So.
Well, actually, so Akashi joined season 2.
Been around a
did
long time.
insane numbers. As you can see, season 2 Emerald MVP. Unfortunately, that team did not end up winning. I believe that was the Utah Craze. But instead,
Holy moly.
Mexico City Venom with Ghostface and I believe Chunky Monkey. They ended up winning that. But then Akashi was in Ruby for season 3. And I don't think has been back since. So this is the return of an older player. Let's see how well Akashi can stack up to a lot of the newer faces we have here.
Yeah, very excited to see. It's some UR lore that predates me. So.
Well, we are gonna get to see Chicago's pick, and I believe this is where the time has come. Let's see who Banger picked. It is gonna be Banger himself. Awesome dude. He joined Chicago when I was with Blue Jay, JD, Recon. We had an awesome group. We got Banger in there. Ghostface was part of that as well. And I believe it was Creek did with us for the last part. But Banger, very flexible, very confident, and another player that I think when you talk about them, you have to talk about how cool, calm, and collected they are in comms, right?
Oh my god.
Always has good comms, always able to say, hey, let's just take a mental reset. We can go forward. So able to grab the rest of that team's looking great so far.
Yeah. Going into that season 7 draft, I was like, oh, this will solve my. I don't need to worry about maybe putting myself on tank. Great tank player. And then he was diamond, and I was like, well, I can't do anything about that now. But Diamond's down here in Emerald now, which is it's a sight to see. It's a sight to see. We're so used to that split, just that hard down the middle.
Back when it was season 1. Yes, I'm that old. I've been around since the very first season. Season 1, I believe, was like mid to low gold and below for Emerald.
Oh man.
So yeah, because I was still in plat at the time, and I was considered ruby, and I was not like high plat. So yeah, I mean the range, we've seen it, right? It's been getting bigger and bigger, and with last season the introduction of the Sapphire League,
That middle
now
league.
we get more and more of that rank split and gap. So this is the first time any diamond is in Emerald. I believe, don't 100% quote me on that, but it's awesome to see now that we get these players to come down.
Yeah, it's very, very exciting to see that rank split there. And I mean, just looking back at that Ruby draft, I think I mentioned at the end of the draft, but I think up until that, maybe like a little bit in that round 5 and that round 6, it was all GM plus players in that Ruby draft. And you didn't even start to see it dip into the high masters pool until the very end, which is just super interesting to see how like the obviously people always, there's the comment of the season 18 did buff people's ranks up a lot. But I think it also just shows both the growth of numbers of the player base, and I think the skill of the player base as well. That we're at that point.
Well, right now it is New England's pick. They're thinking, they're trying to see who will be joining Doge, Nevro, and Zeke. Already, like we talked about, a very good roster, a very confident roster.
Very confident roster.
I personally would think that you look to try to scoop up another DPS player to play with Zeke. I think if you have Doge and Zeke on your DPS line, that's very solid, but you would need to find a tank.
Yeah.
So I believe this is going to be now the pick for New England. Let's take a look. We are going to see a Diamond Tank and DPS player, a new player, Area 51 rating. Wait a second. That name is amazing.
This might be my goat here.
But we get to see the Brig and the
hard
Lucio. So
flex.
here's your main
Yeah,
support.
Brig was. As I said, you don't see this often. We immediately get one, so I'm just left to, Caster's curse and eat my words as always.
Classic. But that's actually going to be very important. If we look back to Nevro, Nevro's typically that flex support player, especially with the Moira. But rounding that out is going to be awesome for them. We're going to get to see the last pick of round 4. Who does Moto and the Washington Rebellion pick up here? Let's take a look. That's surely 2Ds. Adara, surely.
I think it's an O. That's
Okay,
maybe it's
Adora
not.
then.
Maybe I'm tweaking.
Nah, because it definitely looks like Adora Bora.
The
up
Discord's
top.
Adora, so we're gonna go with the Discord being Adora. The Battle.net's also Adora.
Don't worry, we can
Ashcast
read here,
Soldier.
United
That is
Pro.
a truly dedicated hit scan player. If
Oh,
they
the
have Soldier in their
Ashcast
top
Soldier.
3, they are dedicated. Only
They
like
are
true
wild.
champions of the hit scan role play Soldier still. They are dedicated.
We're going to get to see it. But that is our last pick of round 4. Only 2 rounds left. And so we get to kind of take a step back here and look at some of these players. We talked about New England a lot. I'm really liking how Washington is stepping up right now. You have a great
Yeah.
support line. You have, Jaws Fnatic, who is able to swing over that tank DPS, and now you just get to get Adora for that DPS as well. So far, Washington's looking very solid. I don't think there's a single team that, I look and go, I don't know about this yet. But a lot of these teams have recurring players that you get to see shine in a new light.
Yeah, especially. A lot of those returning faces, you kind of get the idea of how they're going to play, and maybe you see with some new players that they've thrown onto there as well. You're like, all right, this is interesting. How what's gonna shift this around here? I know we talked about MTL with Storm. Obviously, we know Storm favors that Doomfist, favors that dive tank, and Mew Crystal, they play that Tracer as well. So maybe, and then they have Mort on the Lucio there. You might see a very just hard dive comp coming out of MTL here, which we see that come out just full coordination, and they just delete somebody as 5. It would be beautiful. I mean, you could see that with anybody, but I think seeing the Doom Tracer Lucio just roll out at a spawn and immediately
That's
pop
gonna scare
somebody,
everybody.
That's gonna be
Everybody's scared.
terrifying. So you guys know what you have to do for week 1. You have to ready up. You have to prepare for.
What's funny about that is Storm has experience typically playing in Emerald, has a season in Ruby on the back of Halifax.
Yeah.
So he's got a bit more of that experience, and he's been in plenty of playoff situations and finals. Let's get to see who is the first pick of round 5. We're going to take it over to Washington. There's a soup. There's a new soup amongst the midst. This is not me, Soup Can. This is not the other soup. Because that would have also been another support Lucio player. This is just a third soup that has joined United Rogue.
Tank DPS player. I believe they were in URMR. The name I definitely remember seeing over there. I cannot say what roster they were on. If they were on it, I don't completely remember. But I do recognize that name from being over there. So I know there's a couple players in this pool here that sort of picking up Overwatch as well, and they decided to sign themselves up. Especially because there is that downtime. That's in its off season, so it's kind of switching from that fall to the spring sport or vice versa.
That's a very good. God, what's the word? Yeah, I don't
analogy comparison.
Thank you. God, both of those would have been great. I couldn't think of a single friggin' one. But
I'm a word guy. I got the Wordle in 2. Got the Wordle in 2.
Regular Wordle Joe over here with me in the booth. But yeah, I mean, I personally love this pickup just because another Soup gets to join.
That's true.
So we get to see how that works out for the Washington Rebellion. But that does mean it is New England's pick. They are on the clock. And so far, you have your main support, you've got your flex support, you've got what I imagine being your tank and one of your DPS coming up. So I'm curious to see where Doge is looking here for this next pickup. And we will see it here on screen in just a second. We're going to see Sebastian. I don't know a good name. This is immaculate. I love this. A DPS support player. You get to see Ash Genji Soj. So a little bit of that flexibility in there as well.
Yeah, a little bit of good pull there, and see that Ayari as their featured character, which that's that's the equivalent of Venture in the support role for me. So if I see Ayari, I'm just as happy. Love that character.
It's gonna be good.
But good player to round it out. Have a DPS support flexibility there, which kind of ties in with both Zeke and Nebro as well. I think like the three of them are all pretty flexible across that DPS and that support role. I mean, Zeke has become more and more well known for that DPS role. Playing on SDA last season. They flexed for Pit the season before, and then season 6 they were they were known for their Reaper. We had a very good dive going there, so. I think just having all three of them be flexible there is very interesting. It allows for them to change some things up. Maybe we'll see the return of the Zeke Nev support line.
That would be generational, but it is Chicago's pick. The pick is in. Let's take a look who will be joining Banger and the Chicago Syndicate. It's going to be Asura. Another player that's been around for a long time. She has been a phenomenal player of every team that she's been a part of. You can see there, Season 1 Emerald Role Star, having the experience. We love to see the returning players, and I think she's going to be great on this Chicago Syndicate roster.
Oh, 100%. Vibes merchant. True vibes merchant.
Last season on Washington, she did a very good job of helping keep the team together when they went through change after change after change. So we can't give her enough credit.
Emerald Washington was a great team last season. Because with the way the whole setup was, Ruby and Emerald, they had 2 games versus each team because of the 10 teams in Sapphire, and that was the only team that was the only team that flipped vice versa or whatever against Nashville, is that we beat them week 1, but in the rematch we were not able to beat them in, versus everything else was I was either still win-win, or any team that we lost to they beat in the second half of the thing. So definitely a very, very solid team that she was kind of helming a little bit there.
Well, now we get to talk about another team that unfortunately beat Nashville last season. We get to see
unfortunately.
Maui pick. It is Johan, and I believe this is not the Johan that's been around for a while. This is a new Johan. Player. Surely that won't get confusing at all.
Johan with a Q, because they use a Q in their Discord name, so that's gonna be the simple fix here. Surely.
We love to see it, but I'm looking at Diamond Support getting the Ana Juno Kiri to round out some of that other roster. You would assume that they would get to play with Aqua on that support role, but we get to take it over
here too.
To Montreal for their 5th round pick.
I am a big fan of this one.
Peach Crisp. Do you know Peach Crisp? I believe.
I do know Peach Crisp. They were part of that season 7 Nashville roster. I don't believe they played last season. I believe they just remained spectator. But that was a complete shot in the dark tank pickup I went for, and it paid dividends. Locking in that Mauga, we created just the most despicable comp in Emerald that carried us. Like it started at week 4 because Started in that week 4, because that was the season we had the break week. It was the 7 weeks with a break in there. So coming after that week 3 break for us, we decided to just give it a shot, and we pulled some Malga Juno Speedring May shenanigans. It was a glorious run. Didn't make playoffs, but I had so much fun playing in that team. Not to say I didn't have fun playing in any of the other teams, but that was a great comp.
Well, hopefully,
so I'm excited to see what
Phoenix,
they bring to Montreal here.
Phoenix hopefully gonna have a good season with their round 5 pickup. Let's go ahead and see who they get to snag. TJ Tony is what I'm gonna say.
We'll
this
go
is
with
what
that.
we're going with. Tajani? I'm going TJ. TJ is joining a new player.
But
we get to see
I see
another Lucio
new player, hard flex, and yeah, I was going to say, see that Lucio. I also see that Zenyatta in there as well.
That's a sleeper pick. I don't think it's
Zenyatta.
I think you get to see it more at high ranks, and then as you get down, you don't see it as much. But having that in Emerald could be scary. I don't think a lot of teams know how powerful
Shenanigans could be had. Yeah,
I'm a fan of shenanigans.
It is funny you mentioned Discord, because that gives me another chance to glaze Nashville Season 7. Because that was the linchpin of that comp, was picking up. We had to pick up a Zen player. I had to, I had to fill an empty roster slot, and I picked up a Zen player, and that Discord order was kind of became the crux of that comp. So as you said, that being able to utilize that Zen and Emerald is very powerful, because you can kind of get something going with you might have like 1 or 2 pieces of a puzzle, and that Discord orb could be that third. It could set up a really potent dive comp going forward. Using that Discord as that, instead of having the tank, having to decide target prio, they see Discord, they go, we go for this player. So it'll be really interesting to see if Phoenix makes use of that going forward.
Well, it's gonna be Phoenix's turn to pick now. The last pick for Phoenix, the last round. Let's take a look at who will be rounding out this roster. We're gonna get DPR, a new player yet again. I'm looking at Ana Kiriko Mercy.
I am familiar with the name from another league. They're playing in a similar bracket as well. Obviously, you would kind of assume from the ranks. That plat player, and I've heard very, very good things. I haven't been able to watch enough of their gameplay, but I've heard very good things from them as a support player. So I think it'll be a great pick to round out that Phoenix roster.
Well, that does mean Phoenix is done drafting, but Montreal has one more pick. They are on the clock. I'm excited to see who will be rounding out an already stacked roster. Looking pretty good so far. Where will Booger go to round it out? I believe this season Booger is not playing, so I don't think he's picking himself up. Instead, taking Salty Jinx. Another player that's been around for a while.
Good long while.
Yeah. Since season 5?
Season 5,
6?
yeah. I think that was season 5.
5. It does say season 5.
I believe they were a part of that the Baltimore roster that season.
Yes. Up in Ruby with Choco and Adbon and Arunas. But another very good support player that has been around for a little bit, able to help round out this roster, which already, like I said, Montreal's looking pretty scary. So now we get to see them come back swinging.
For sure.
Now it's time. Maui with their last pick, round 6. Who will they go to? Let's take a look. We're going to get another Lucio. We get to see so many Lucios.
I'm liking it.
I'm a big fan.
It's fun. It's something different.
It's crazy to see how there are a lot of Lucio players. Like you said earlier, normally there's not that many. But we get to see now there's a return, which is super important. You know, we talked about having a main support and being able to have that flexibility. I think that is going to be a great pickup.
No, very much so. I mean, it's also they were also just like they might have that Lucio feature, but they were just a hard flex player. They got all those roles selected. You know, they're interested in playing any of them. And the other thing that stuck out there was to kind of pair with that Lucio. It seems they favor those dive comps because those DPS heroes, they had Reaper, Tracer, and Soldier. Again, seeing all that Soldier too, which is beautiful to see. The legs is making a comeback. The legs will make a comeback.
Well, now we get to see Chicago, their last pick. Let's see who they are going to snag. And this is going to be Chelsea. Another player that's been around for a little bit. Won Season 7 and got a Roll Star last season. Has the Alari Juno, and I think I typically know them from the Kiri.
For the Kiriko. Well, the local Kiriko OTP. You see Ayari Juno, but just put the Kiriko in the bag. Come on now.
Just put it in the bag.
We know you're gonna put the Kiriko. No, we saw a lot of Juno last season though, when they were part of that LVT roster, and I don't remember if it was in the Gen chat here or it was in a Twitch stream. I do remember comments of saying I'm beating the Kiriko one trick allegations, and it was beautiful to see.
That will round out Chicago's roster. This does mean New England is on the clock. And I personally think I know who this pick is going to be, because I believe this is going to be a friend of mine and Doge from high school. That we know.
You have the true insider information.
I have a lot of that good insider knowledge. And
surely there's no particular reason why you get that insider information. Surely.
No.
None at all.
Nothing at all. But we get to see, here he is, Paranoid, aka Biggest of Krigs. This is a buddy of ours. I think personally, where you get to see gold across the board. That's what happens when you get later into Emerald. What I love about Paranoid is that he, again, is what we talked about earlier, big glue guy, right? Is he going to start every match? Maybe not. But regardless, he's going to show up. He's going to beat his team. He's going to be big vibes. And I think that's going to be great, especially since he knows Doge personally. He gets to now hang out with the Zeke Nevro, cluster. We have Area 51, and I don't know a good name. So New England
becomes part of the club.
Nev. It's going to be a good time.
I saw the Mega Victory Bell picture, and I did kind of giggle a little bit. I am using a Mega Victory Bell, so that's I have the bias there too.
We love to see it. That will round out the New England roster. We have one more pick in this round 6 in this Emerald draft. Let's go ahead and see. There it is. All right, we're back. Lucky Squid.
They're back. We saw it earlier, but we're seeing them again now.
It was just we were alluding to it, right? We were just up
it was a hint. Draft got a little ahead of itself. People were throwing some names around, and they made an oopsie poopsie, to say the least. But
we love seeing that. But that will round out our draft. What a lot of rosters. I mean, these rosters look really good. To run over some of them, right? If I go through, we get Guna, Jaws Fanatic, Big Green, Adora, Soup, and Lucky Squid for Washington. New England has Doge, Zeke, Nevro, Area 51, I don't know a good name, and Paranoid, aka Biggest of Krigs. Chicago has Calfees, Bamboo Bee. These are the Discord names, by the way, because I currently can't see their actual BattleNets.
On the BattleNets.
Lore, Banger, Asura, and Chelsea. Maui has picked up, the green writing is terrible, Aurelia, Apollo, Aqua, Kashi. We got New Johan, and then we have Dahawk. Montreal gets to bring Storm, Crystal, Mort, Bakugan, Peach Crisp, and Salty Jinx. And of course, last but definitely not least is Phoenix with Dill, Dash, Bayonet, Van, TJ, and DPR. So those rosters are looking great. If you did not get drafted,
Really exciting
that is
rosters.
okay. There is a long season ahead of us. We have 7 weeks. You can still get picked up. There are players that unfortunately have to leave for whatever reason. Sometimes rosters don't work out, so there will be either trades or drops and pickups. So don't worry about it if you didn't make it on to any rosters right now. There is still a chance. Along with that, there are plenty of opportunities for you guys to sub in Emerald matches, as well as in previous seasons. There have been a couple of free agent teams pulled together so other teams can scrim.
Oh yeah, 100%. Is not being drafted does not mean the end. That's not it. Like I said, pay attention to the FA channel. Teams will need subs. Roster changes happen, plenty. Sometimes, and so stick around, pay attention to what's going on, and just be active in the community. It's a great way to get yourself out there, get your name out there. And as I think I said before, even going into this draft, I think Emerald's going to be really exciting. I said, I signed on to cast this with you. I was like, this is going to be cinema. Emerald is going to be a movie. It's going to be electric this season. It's going to be beautiful.
We are excited to see it, but that does conclude our draft, and that does mean tomorrow, 11/3, aka November 3rd, we will be starting up the official first week of United Rogue Overwatch Season 9. Across all 3 leagues, it's gonna be a good time, so make sure you stick around. We will see you guys very soon. Thank you for coming out and watching, and have a great night.
Have a good night.